Hello and welcome to another episode of the Africa Written podcast, where we bring you inspiring voices driving change across our continent. I am your host, Nontobe Mlambo. Today I'm excited to be speaking with someone that I've worked with in the past, and it's always refreshing to talk to someone that I know and to tell others about the amazing work that they do. So I'm honored to be speaking with Simone Diouf, the African Union Youth Ambassador for Peace in West Africa. Before we get into it, let's first start by talking about exactly what is the YPS agenda. So, the Youth Peace and Security Agenda is a global policy framework that recognizes the positive and essential role that young people play in peace building, conflict resolution, and sustaining peace. It was established by the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250, adopted unanimously in December of 2015, making it the very first time that the UN formally acknowledged youth as key actors in peace and security. The Youth Peace and Security Agenda outlines 5 crucial pillars to ensure young people are central to global peace efforts. These are participation, protection, prevention, partnership, disengagement, and reintegration. For this episode, we are honored to have Simone Diouf as a youth peace and security expert. She is a passionate advocate for the youth peace and security agenda in Africa, dedicating her work to empowering young people to be meaningful participants in peace building, conflict prevention, and policy decision making. Okay, so hi Simone, it's very nice to have you on my podcast today. So I had a pleasure of working with you some time ago for an international organization that does peace building work. And so I know who you are. I'm always excited to talk to somebody that I know, that I've worked with. And I'm always excited to share the kind of skills that you have. Could you please just introduce yourself and maybe where you're from?
Thank you, Nontobeko, and thank you for having me in your podcast. It's really an honor. I'm Simone Diouf. I'm from Senegal. I'm joining from Abuja, but I live in Dakar.
Yeah.
I serve as the African Union Youth Ambassador for Peace, representing the Western Africa region. And I'm also an international consultant working on both WPS and YPS agenda. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure and happy to catch up here.
Thank you so much for coming. Could we just talk about what sparked your passion for gender issues and for youth empowerment?
Yeah, it's a very nice question. I will say that my passion was born from witnessing inequalities in my own environment. You know, seeing from young women, girl dropping out of school, um, seeing the inequality between women and men when it's come to political participation of women, access to sexual and reproductive service. So yeah, it's all that seeing youth being excluded from decision making that affects their lives. So as a young African woman, I just quickly realized that we needed peace,
Yeah.
and peace not as silencing all the guns, uh, not as negative peace, but we need also to create opportunities and dignity for women, youth, and that should really led me to study peace and work on peace building.
Yeah.
And I'm really committed to gender equality and peace building. That's why I'm working on women peace and security and also youth peace and security.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a
Mhm.
very busy schedule and you're always traveling. How do you balance your personal life and your work life?
It's not easy. It's not always easy, especially in a field like peace building. Everything can happen. We have crisis everywhere. Everything is urgent.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I have learned to really be intentional about resting and trying to find joy within my work. So I make time for my family, for my close friends. I also try to read, listen music, and I try to really set clear boundaries, not try to really carry the weight or every issue alone. I'm trying to work with a team, and also I'm trying to say no. I cannot commit to everything. I'm trying to prioritize and also trust each others to also lead. For me, it's also part of the balance.
Could you please talk about any initiatives that you have taken part or projects that you are excited about? The ones that you've taken part in that you have had most impact, or also the ones that you are looking forward to?
Oh, so last year, since my appointment, I have like many projects. I will start by the regional consultation with young people on the new agenda for peace, which is a forward-looking framework. UN is a UN framework, a forward-looking one, working on on a preventive, inclusive, and human um, centered approach to the global peace and security issues. So I will try to have consultation with young people to really collect what are the perspective of young people. It was a very successful consultation. We produced a report that I'm trying to disseminate. I organize trainings, especially a regional training on youth peace and security, especially the national action plan, uh, and yeah, so many projects coming. Especially, I want to launch a youth peace and security group of friends in West Africa to really help with coordination. I'm looking forward held activities in Burkina Faso, in Togo and Cote d'Ivoire, countries that I haven't touched last year. So many projects coming. Are very busy schedules, but I'm really happy to do it this year. As you know, this year is the commemoration of the 10th anniversary of the UN Security Council on Youth Peace and Security. So it's an opportunity really to work, to reflect, mobilize, and re-energize the agenda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Since you started in this position, what have you found to be some of the challenges with that come with the job that comes with the job?
As I was explaining earlier, it's a wonderful position. I'm really proud to be the IF of West Africa, but this position also came with some challenges. It's not easy to really try to connect the African Union with young people from 15 countries, especially coming from countries that are experiencing challenges when it's come to employment, security challenges, political instability. So young people are really want to see the difference. And right now, things are moving very, very slowly. One of the challenge is also getting the financial support to be able to organize activities. You need financials and technical support. Right now, you know that we have uh, finance crisis with all the
Mm,
partners disappearing, keeping their money. So it's a little bit difficult to be able to get funding to really support our activities. It's also one of our biggest challenges.
yeah. So you're speaking about challenges
Hmm.
in our continent. There's a lot of young people,
Hmm.
especially young girls, that get left behind because of many
Hmm.
issues,
Hmm.
including like your child marriages, early pregnancies, and then
Hmm.
they end up leaving school.
Hmm.
What role do you think that education plays then in promoting peace and security in our continent?
Hmm. Yeah, education, especially peace education, is a strong component on youth peace and security. Education is everything. It really equips individual young girls and boys with critical thinking with civic responsibility, with skills, with empathy, and it's really helped people to understand their right to be good citizens, to have tools really to claim democracy or development peacefully. In our regions, especially in West Africa, that are affected by violence, education also gives hope. And hope is really powerful, really what we call antidote for violent extremism and for also radicalization. So we really need to push for more young people, more young girls and young boys to be educated, to have a strong background for them to have a better future.
So, as the youth ambassador for peace in West Africa, how do you think that we can effectively prevent violence or violent extremism in West Africa? You spoke about challenges and in that part of the region. How can we effectively prevent that? What do you think needs to happen?
I just think that young people need to be at the center of the solution. We should we need really address the root causes. Um, I mean, exclusion, the violence of the exclusion. Young people are not included in decision making, and just this poverty, lack of education, lack of economic opportunities.
Yeah.
We need to address those root causes, and we should prevent the conflicts. We need to start by investing in communities, in young people, especially invest in education, in local governance, in economic empowerment, give them hope. We need to invest in infrastructure. Our young people are very, very innovative. If you give them the small tools, they can really do magics. So I think that we need to invest in their future, and we need also to listen to them, really listen to them. I just feel that our president, the government are not listening to young people, to their grievance, before they turn into violence. We need to build trust between the state and the people, between the state and the young people. It's key.
You mentioned earlier on that you are conducting trainings, things like that. I think as part of your work in this position. Do you find the trainings to be helpful?
Yes, I think that when you consult young people, one of the first challenges they're experiencing is the lack of capacity. So they need to be trained on peace, mediation, dialogue. So they really want to be trained on the normative framework. So that's the challenge. If you want to implement youth peace and security, young people should be at the forefront.
Yeah.
So how they can be at the forefront, they need to understand what is YPS, why it is important for this agenda to be implemented. They should know what are their role as agent of peace. So they should be trained on concrete skills. So that's why for me capacity building is really key, to really give young people the tools for them to really be agent of peace, agent of development in their communities, in their local communities, at the national level, also at the regional or continental level.
Yeah. How can people like me, as a journalist, or how can the media better support women and youth in peace building processes?
When we were working together, we were working with journalists, right?
Yeah.
We know that media can shift the narrative. In French, we call them le quatrième pouvoir. It means the fourth power. You know, we have the legislative power from the from the parliament. We have the power of the justice. We have the power of the president. But
Yeah.
sometimes the media are the fourth power, what we call the quatrième pouvoir in French. So they can shift the narrative. So it's important to work with them. They can support women and youth in peace building processes by portraying them only as agent of peace, as leaders, not only as passive victim or troublemakers or perpetrator. For me, it's important also that they highlight their leadership, their creativity, the innovation they are bringing, what they are bringing to the table, their contribution. So, and journalists can also act as watchdog. They can hold our institution accountable and amplify also the grassroots voices. Sometimes young people, women are doing fantastic work in the field, but they are not here, they are not recognized. So journalists can also amplify their voice. Language matters, and journalists can give those marginalized groups the visibility they truly deserve.
What's your vision for the future of peace and security in your region in West Africa?
I'm hopeful. I know that our region face so many challenges we are facing, and especially young people. But I still hold myself accountable to have this a positive vision. I want to tap on the opportunities we have in the region. We have a very youthful population. More than
Yeah.
60% of our population is 30, from under 35. Young people are innovative. They want to succeed. They want they are peace builders. So I just believe that if we invest in them, if we give them education, employment, all the opportunities that they deserve, our region can really be one of the richest region, one of the where we can enjoy peace and security. uh, I am hopeful because I believe that young people are doing fantastic work in the field. They have organized their organization. They are advocating for their inclusion. They are really challenging the political status quo. Look at what is happening in Togo right now with the protests that are youth led, and we have also some opportunities like the AI and the technology that they are also using also to make themselves heard. Now young people are using social media to talk about politics, to talk about peace and security. So I'm seeing some opportunities where we can tap in also to really advance our fight as peace builders.
Okay. Um, Given your extensive experience in peace building and youth empowerment across Africa, which countries in the region, in the African region, do you believe is making notable strides in promoting peace and stability? I hope you
It's
say South Africa.
difficult to respond to this question when only one country. I just believe that West Africa in general is doing great, especially when it's comes to peace and security.
Yeah.
For example, we have two countries, Nigeria and Gambia, that have developed national action plan, and I'm seeing so many countries like Senegal, Benin, Liberia, Ghana that are really doing their best, actively taking concrete steps to have their national action plan. So national
Yeah.
action plan are really like those tools to really localize YPS at the national level and really take
Yeah.
into account the five pillars. So I'm seeing is really concrete step within the region and more coordination between the key stakeholders. So I will say that the region is doing great, and they are seizing the momentum. You know, right now we have a momentum around this narrative, include the inclusion of youth in peace processes. So they are seizing the opportunities, especially youth organizations. They are raising funds, doing capacity building, and really working at the local level to really implement peace and security.
Yeah. So finally, what messages would you like to share with other young people who want to get involved? in building peace in their communities?
I will say start where you are. That's the first thing. You don't need to have a title or organization to make a difference. As an individual, you can make a difference. You should listen to your community, identify the needs, try to collaborate with each other, and speak up. When you see injustice, try to do something. Sometimes peace start with someone trying to create a safe space for dialogue, organizing mentorship cycle, or even challenging harmful practices or norm. So if you believe that you have a power as an individual and as a whole, with the others, I think that you can do something. And young people are the present and they are the future. They are the future. They are now. So if they realize it, they can also express their full potential by doing what they should do, by taking the lead right now.
Yeah.
So they start. It's the only thing is to start.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time to do this interview with me. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, it was a really nice interview. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to listen to our podcast.
Thank you. Thanks to Simone for participating in this episode and for all the amazing work she does for peace in Africa. The Youth Peace and Security Agenda is not just a policy framework, it's a call to action. It reminds us that youth are not passive victims or future leaders in waiting. They are present leaders, already making critical contributions to peace, justice, and security in Africa. From mobilizing communities to leading protest movements, from peace journalism to local mediation, African youth are creating new pathways to peace. But their potential can only be realized if they are given the resources, recognition, and respect that they deserve. Let's commit to amplifying youth voices and creating platforms where their contributions are not just heard but acted upon. If this episode moved you or taught you something new, please share it with a friend, post your thoughts online, and tag us at Africa Within Podcast. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, I'm Nontabego Mlambo, and this is Africa Within. Thanks for listening.